Hi, this is Anne with a quick anagram on task number 3 for this starting week. I want to walk you through how you create this first little replet that has just one line of text in it. And there'll be more videos later about the actual features of the integrated development environment we're using, but I just didn't want to leave you hanging with instructions that may not make sense this first week. So what I'm going to do is just walk you through these 3 slides. Basically, once you've created your account, how to get to creating a new REPL, what changes to make, and how to test it. And this will take you substantially less time than it takes me to walk through it, I'm pretty sure. So it's a little hard to predict where you're going to land when you create your new account or when you go to do this work. So you may either land on an enrollments page that shows you which courses you are enrolled in for this semester in Replit. We don't use this particular format, so you don't need to click on these. This will just take you down a rabbit hole to a place where there's no real content for you. You will get your assignments from links in the slides. So basically, you may end up here. You may end up on a home page. This particular account belongs to one of my cats, who is a busy little cat and has many different REPLs already. When you get to this page, which can also be gotten to by any place where you can see a My REPLs link, it'll be empty. And what you are going to do is, on whatever page you're on, or on your home page or your My REPLs page, you're going to search for this new REPL button. Click that. Okay, and the first thing you always have to do is choose your language. Yours will always be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Because you have a new account, that may or may not appear as a favorite of yours. So if you don't see that in the list, just start typing HTML and it'll show up. You click it. That establishes the language for the new code that you're about to create. And the name of this exercise, the code for this exercise, is Hello REPL. And yes, I really mean there's no space there, there's no capital there. So this is called snake case, where the first letter is lowercase and then words are distinguished by an uppercase letter. So do make that named Hello REPL. Your account will always create public REPLs, and then just click this create button. And as the slides say, there's good news and there's bad news. When you create an HTML project in Replit, you get valid code that would run and does run. Unfortunately, the way they wrote this example is that you can push this green run button and technically it will work, but you don't see anything here in the output because there's literally nothing on this web page. So if we go to page 2 of the slide instructions for this, I'm actually going to skip ahead one step, and you're always welcome to type things out. I'm kind of lazy. That's one of the distinguishing characteristics of a good coder. So I'm just going to capture this text and move it here and put it inside the body. So I'm creating a new paragraph element inside the body element of this HTML page. And I'm going to change the name to Winston's. Okay, so Winston Raff just created this page, and it never hurts to test more frequently. We haven't finished the instructions on the slides, but we can still run this page. And now suddenly we see that, in fact, when I hit the run button, it is working, and on this result page, I can see the content that I just added. So if I go back to my slides, it says change the title tag to contain your name instead of Replit. So let's see if we can find that. Okay, so anything inside those angle brackets is a tag. Here's a tag with, it's called title. That's a good clue. And it says repl, and we're just going to change it to Winston's name. And you're not going to see that right away. I may show that to you in a minute. And then we're going to just take our heart in our hands, and we want to change the background color for this page. So the best example you have for the syntax for that is really here. You can see that here in my example, I've got a body tag, and then I just simply have BG color equals cornflower blue. That happens to be a color that the cat and I like. So we're going to go here, and we're going to find this body tag and try to see if we can remember the syntax here. Okay, and that's looking about right. One of the things about this environment is you get colorization, and if your colors are looking right, chances are your text is looking right. So I'm going to test this again. Okay, and now I have a blue page. If I change this to light purple, which I think is a valid color, I'm getting dark blue. Okay. But that may be a screen issue. So I'm just going to go back to the color I like that's not too dark. Okay. And now if I go back and I double check my work, I have changed the title, changed the color, and added this paragraph. And the order I did this in is not really super essential. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, I may change this slide to have you go ahead and do this first. If that doesn't confuse things too much. I've been known to change things on the fly before. So when you get to this slide, it's going to look like the order I did things in, as opposed to the order that this slide was when I started doing this example. Always trying to make things better. So now if I come back here, I've added this cornflower blue again, I hit run, I get this nice nice looking page. And then what we're not seeing is this title. So just really briefly, this result output is an okay first look for very simple pages. But as we work through the semester more and more, you're going to want to open this page in a separate web browser tab. And the way you do that is click on this little symbol here, handily labeled open in a new tab. And one of the things you do that happens there is that's where you see the page title is the tab, takes the text of the title. Content's the same, background color is the same. So the only other thing left for that task is to take a screenshot, okay? And I'm going to leave the instructions for screenshots to a separate video. I'm going to go ahead and take it on my machine, which is a Windows machine. If you don't have a Windows machine or you don't have the same tools installed or the same version, you may need to look up how to do this, okay? So it's not obvious. It's a technical term. When I talk about taking a screenshot, I am not talking about getting out your cell phone and taking a picture of your monitor. It's a perfectly reasonable assumption. It just doesn't happen to be right in this case. So in general, every operating system has tools these days for taking a screenshot. I have this one because I have a Windows 10 machine that's called Snip and Save or Snip and Sketch. And it opens up an application. I click the new button, and then I go in and I highlight what it is I want to have in my screenshot, and that takes a picture straight from my monitor. The details on your system are gonna be different. If you need help with this, let me know. But I just wanted you to see what I meant by a screenshot. And then depending on your tool, you can save this, which I think I'll go ahead and do, to some sort of downloads folder. I actually highly recommend you make a folder on your hard drive specifically for this class. But in this case, just to be real quick, I'm going to just go ahead and save this image file. And having done so, in my downloads folder. I have it set up so that the last file I saved is right here. So there's a piece of the directions where you are supposed to drag and drop this screenshot over to your repl. Okay, you don't have to do anything with it here. I just want to be able to see it. I need to know that you know how to take screenshots and you know how to use them in different ways, including dragging them to your project and also using them in the document that you are turning in. So that's part of the work for this week. If you don't know how to do it, ask for help. Thanks a lot.